There's a twist in this video. It wasn't manufactured. It wasn't preconceived. It just happened. It just happened at the end of the video. And I didn't even realize. I didn't even realize until it happened. Stay tuned. Do you know, we don't communicate. Myself and my wife, or my wife and myself, do not communicate. When you find out, when you discover to the extent of the non-communication between me and her in this video, you won't believe it. Okay, let's just start off, okay? That's my car. That's her car. We came up here to Pontootheeney separately. Yesterday morning I came up here with Harry. She was to come up last night, but she didn't come up last night, she came up this morning. Now I had a conversation with her on the phone. When you hear what happened, you won't believe this. I had a conversation with her based on what happened to her in Bangkok yesterday. I had a conversation with her and I said, what are you going to do? And she said, I'll come up in the morning. So she slept the night in Bangkok. So this morning I called her with the intention of me driving down to Bangkok in my car so she wouldn't have to bring her car. Based on what happened to her, that I would have thought she would have been to some degree incapacitated. But no, she didn't answer. By the time I called her, apparently she was at the market or something, that's what she said, and she came up in her car. Anyway, she's cooking breakfast for me, but it looks like a pot of bullshit, and I'm not going to partake. I'm gonna take my leave of this environment, and I'm going to tell you what happened to her yesterday, and you're not going to believe the lack of communication between her and me, or me and her. It doesn't matter which way you say it, we just don't fucking communicate. As I'm making my way to wherever we're going, I'm going to let you in on a little bit of family life. You'll see the pot of bullshit she's cooking, and I'm not going to partake in that. And she spoon feeds Harry. But you see, you might say, Harry is 7 years old, why is she spoon feeding him? Harry doesn't eat. When I say he doesn't eat, he does not eat. He will go 24 hours a day without eating. He just doesn't want to eat. So she has to spoon feed him. Anyway, enjoy this little snippet of our family life while I make my way to some form of sanctuary. Just before I go in to one of the biggest, most important, let's say, events that has happened in our life between myself and my wife in the last 13 years, arguably one of the biggest. Before we go into the detail on that, I just want to show you about the repossessions in Thailand in terms of cars, and how Thais go beyond their means, and then they end up having to give the car back, and this guy is selling them. Have a look at this fella here. There's a huge market in second-hand cars in Thailand. These are repossessions. And you know, if I'm saying there's a huge market in repossessed cars or second-hand cars, there's also a huge market in repossessed husbands or repossessed wives or second-hand husbands. Thailand has got one of the highest rates of divorce in the world. Why do I say that? I didn't read up on it, I just know it. I just feel it in my water. It makes perfect sense to me that it would be that. Ouch. This thing keeps getting caught in my chest hairs. But yeah, second-hand. So this guy, I talk about holding up your stock, holding up what is your stock holding? He has, I'd say, close on $1 million worth of pickups there, give or take. I could be wrong, whatever, but you know what I mean, it's a lot of money. And he has to pay his staff and pay his utilities And how many cars does he sell a week? I don't know. But one thing that drives me mad about ties, this is one of those aforementioned repossessions or second hand. They're not the original tyres, but they've lowered the suspension. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? The whole idea of a pickup is to have ground clearance. What is this? Obviously, the owner of this vehicle, the previous owner before he handed it in to the second-hand car dealer, he must not have been well endowed, because he has these big wheels that are aftermarket, let's say, and he's lowered the suspension to look more whatever. But I can tell you, I can lower my suspension, I can wear bigger tyres and do all the bigger things and be more this, that and the other, but my communication with my Thai wife is on the floor, I mean, my Camry has a higher suspension than that Isuzu. I mean, come on. And my communication with you is at a higher level than my communication with my wife, and that's a fact. You see, her communication is grand when it comes to sending me to do the shopping. She wants this, she wants that. It's crystal clear. She'll even take a photo of what she wants and share it with me. But when it comes to critical information about what happened to her yesterday, it's almost zero. So what did happen to her yesterday? Well, I'll tell you what happened to her yesterday. I came up here with Harry early in the morning, and I started doing me bits and pieces. And I can't remember exactly, because I was so busy, at what time she called me, but she called me at some stage in the afternoon to say, and wait for it, she'd been hit by a car in the Sukhumvit area. And that's all the information I got. Well, I did say, of course, are you okay? And she said, I'm going to the hospital. But she didn't tell me whether it was just a graze, it hit her elbow, her leg, or anything like that. There was no information forthcoming. So that was that. She hung up. Imagine your wife telling you she's been hit by a car, doesn't give you the details, and hangs up. So, I kid you not, she hung up on me. So what did I do? Well, I got stuff to do. I gotta work for a living, so I had stuff to do. When I had a breather in what I was doing, in my online activity, I called her again, and she was at a birthday party. Now you might say, and I said to myself, well, if she's at a birthday party, by the way, I knew about the birthday party, that's why she was coming up here late, you see. But anyway, I said to myself, well, she's at the birthday party, she couldn't be that bad. But I said, where are you? She was at the party, hung up again. 3 hours later, I had finished all the stuff that I had been doing online. I was whacked out of it. I'd been working from 2 o'clock online until 2 o'clock in the afternoon until 9 o'clock in the evening, and trying to feed Harry at the same time. I was whacked, so I went to bed. And she called, and she said she was driving home from the party and that she wouldn't be coming to Pontoon last night, that she would come tomorrow. And I said to her, I was beginning to say, are you all right? And she hung up again. Thais do, well, maybe it's just her, but that's what they do. They finish what they say and they hang up. There's no goodbye or whatever like that. Well, not with her anyway. Anyway, fast forward to this morning. So this morning I woke up at 6:30 after getting a good night's rest. So I decided to call her. She's an early riser. Called her, no answer. So I left it. Then I dozed off again. And about an hour later, 7:30, I called her online. Line is why, if you're not familiar with Southeast Asia or East Asia, line is similar to WhatsApp. So I called her online, no answer. And then I was working at my little workstation there, trying to come up with a thumbnail for this video, because I had the concept of this video before we started recording. And I heard voices and I walked out and there she was. She never told me she was back. She never called me to tell me she was coming up. Well, I knew she was coming, but she never, you'd imagine, I'm on the way home, I'm on the way up now, don't worry, I'll be there in a few minutes. Nothing. We're talking about no communication here, lads. So she's out there at the kitchen area where she is now. And I said to her, what happened? And then she said, don't talk. It's a phrase in Thai, mai pod, directly translated as no talk. Anyway, it's just the way they express themselves. I said, what the fuck? And I pursued her. What happened? She's 2 plasters on her forearms. 2 big, well, plasters, yeah, on her forearms. I just said, please just tell me the details. I didn't say it like that. I said it in my pigeon Thai. But I said, well, tell me what happened. I said, and I had to, it was like pulling teeth. I had to say, were you knocked to the ground? Yes. She was knocked to the ground. She hit her head off the road. And the driver drove on. I said, did you go to the police? She said, no. And it's as if nothing happened. And no explanation would have been afforded to me. Well, maybe it would have been eventually, but I had to prise it out of her. Your wife is knocked down by a car and knocked to the ground, and she hits her head, and she doesn't care to furnish you with the details. That's what I'm talking about. Lack of communication? I wouldn't say lack of communication. I would say an absence of communication. So yes, a total absence of communication. And you might ask yourself, how do I live like this? Or how do I put up with this? Well, in fairness, in her mind, what I've tried to understand, I've tried to do, is put myself in her shoes. She feels that she has to put up with a lot from me. Ever since I've known her, she's been a very private person. Since day one, she's been a private person. She never wants to offload her problems to me. That's the best way I can put it. She never tells me about her day in work. If I ask her, she gives me the barest piece of information. Like, was your day good? Yes. You know, but there's never any supplementary enhancement. And that's the way it's been for us since day one. And, you know, to be in fairness, this is the first time she's been knocked down by a car since I knew her. It's the first time, is it? It's not the first time someone close to me has been knocked down by a car, actually. But it's the first time since I've known my Thai wife that she's been knocked down by a car. And her behaviour is the same as it always has been. She is devoid of communication. You see, we're polar opposites. We really, really are. You know, and you know, you don't need me to tell you. You know, what do they always say? Opposites attract. And maybe that's what it is. I've said before in previous videos, I've talked about my relationship with my wife. And it's good for me. Here's a car, gotta get off the road, just in case. Just let him pass. Anyway, our relationship thrives on friction. That's the best way I can describe it. That's the best way I can describe it. And you can say, maybe that's an unhealthy relationship to be in. But what defines a healthy relationship? I know there's clear definitions of an unhealthy relationship, but I don't think our relationship is necessarily unhealthy, because the more information that I know, the more information that she would have given me about what happened probably would have made me feel worse. She's a very strong-willed person. She's a very independent person. She's a very independently minded person. And so am I. But I'm a communicative person. Obviously, look what I do on YouTube. I communicate. I thrive on communication. She doesn't. She actually doesn't like communicating. It's obvious. But that's the way she is. And I've come to learn that. And this occurrence has proven it to me. It's brought it back up again. Why should I be surprised that she wasn't open with me about what happened. Well, open is the wrong word. Why should I be surprised that she wasn't forthcoming with information? Because she just doesn't do it. It's not part of her makeup. I give out too much information, but with her, I've learned not to, because I know she doesn't like it. So I've made adjustments for the benefit of harmony. And she wants to keep it that way, because that's the way she is. I hope this makes sense, because because it makes sense to me. You know, it's probably cultural as well. It's got to be. It is cultural as well. You know, this Thai thing about babao cha-cha. If you're not used to Thailand, babao cha-cha means, babao means quietly or something like that. Do it quietly or be quiet, babao. Or cha-cha means to go easy. Babao cha-cha, I don't know what the direct English translation is, but it's quietly, softly, gently kind of thing. But I tell you, if I had $1 for every time she said that to me, I could buy us all a beer. And by the way, if you want to buy me a coffee, there it is there. There's the guys who have helped me out, or continue to help me out, and buy me a coffee. You can click the link below, or you can scan the QR. It'd be absolutely fantastic for me if you did that. I really appreciate it. So this is, you know, when I make videos, I talk a lot. And when you talk, it's like therapy. And it's therapeutic for me. I've learned something about our relationship from this. What the hell is that? You got to be very careful. I heard a noise there, rustling. It was a twig or something I was rubbing off against. It could have been a snake. But you know what I mean? I hope you do know what I mean. It's not that I tolerate it. I accept it. That's what it is. I accept the way she is. I hear a lot in the comments from other guys in a similar situation to me, being married to a Thai woman. And some of the things that I share with you are mirrored or echoed by some of the guys who leave comments, and they have the same situation as me with their Thai wife. Some of them are the opposite. You know, they're all individuals. So it's different for everybody. And as I said, what defines a bad relationship? As I said before, what defines a bad relationship? It's certainly not a bad relationship. We provide for our son. He's happy. You saw in the earlier clip in the video, he's playing with his two cousins on the haystack over there. So it's not all bad. I remember when our father died, he was very old, and it was expected because he was long gone. He had Alzheimer's, and he had Alzheimer's for a long time, and he didn't know where he was. And he had emphysema as well at the same time. God, he had it tough. But he died, and it was an acceptance or a release. It was a release. But she had a brother who died who was my age, about 2 years ago. And there was no hysterical emotion being poured out. There was always in the background. Always in the background, that's Harry. But there was no display of hysterical emotion. It was again an acceptance. That's just the way she is. The only exception to that would be if anything happened to Harry. And speaking of Harry, I've just found out something from Harry that will substantiate completely what I've been talking about in this video. The last scene where I said, with the exception of Harry, and this scene where I said, speaking of Harry, I went in to edit, because I edit as I go. When I have the chance, and I have the chance and the opportunity today to edit as I go. And as I was editing, Harry overheard what I was saying in the video. It was on speaker, it was on the computer. And he said, bike. And I said, what? He said, it wasn't a car, it was a motorcycle. I said, what? You see, the Thai word for vehicle is lot. Lot is a straw, and lot is a car or a vehicle. Lot motorcycle is a motorcycle, but they never say lot motorcycle. They just say motorcycle. And she said to me, lot. And this is what I've said many, many times. I've always said, with all due respect, the Thai language is an inadequate language. It doesn't give you all the details. She said lot, and I assumed it was a car. It was a bloody motorcycle. I was wondering if she was knocked to the ground. When she told me she'd been knocked to the ground, the car would have had to drive around her, especially on Suckinbit Road, or in that area, very busy area. It would have had to back up and go around her, which would have been very, very difficult, and maybe someone would have stopped him. But you see, a motorcycle makes a lot more sense. He just kept on going. And that just highlights again the lack of communication. This is, by the way, this isn't, you might think, I deliberately did this at the end to provide some extra interest in the video, or to create some kind of, let's say, drama. Well, it's not an attempt to create drama. I don't have to attempt to create drama. I don't have to create... Who's that? Whatever it is, they're coming in here. Anyway, I don't have to create drama. Drama is created for me. Imagine that. After all this time, and I haven't even spoken to her about it. It's a bloody motorcycle. See, Harry is fluent in Thai. And you might say I misheard her. I didn't mishear her. She said lot, which I took to mean as car. And any of you who are watching this that can speak Thai or have a degree of Thai like me, if someone says lot, you think of a car. Yes or no? When's the last time you heard any Thai say lot motorcycle? They do say it. But if she had been communicative with me, she would have said lot motorcycle. Maybe she was trying to be dramatic, and she just said lot to generate this drama. I'll tell you this much, lads. There's never a dull moment. There is never a dull moment in Thailand. There's never a dull moment in my relationship with her. And this just proves it. And I tell you, there's never a dull moment in my videos. A lot of the guys have said that a lot of guys have given me a lot of good support, both on Buy Me a Coffee and other ways as well. But a lot of people have said that the clips that I show from Wigwang Night Market, you know, with the girls that I interviewed in the past, they enjoy that. So this isn't to create any kind of extra drama. This is to kind of tone it down and provide some kind of therapeutic relaxation. Let's say visual massage. So I will provide this visual massage for you. If you want to skip this section of the girls in Wigwang Market, do so. It's only going to be a minute or 30 seconds to a minute long. But let's enjoy this interlude before we reconvene. So just as we reconvene, by the way, I hope you enjoyed that, lads. If you want to see more of that kind of thing, just let me know in the comment section. I know a lot of you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, let me know. I just want to gauge your appreciation of it. Anyway, Just as we reconvene, the beer bandit has just come home after a hard day's work. But I tell you, I'm just concluding after a hard day's work of trying to understand my Thai wife. It's absolutely, making this video, I have, in real time, I have learned as much as you have learned about my relationship with my Thai wife in real time. There you go. Oh, by the way, before we conclude, I have a good friend in Hoi Hin who I've promised that I will promote and help him to promote his own business of Thai Date VIP. Thai Date VIP is a dating site, and it's not just a dating site. It's a dating site based in Thailand, run by a French guy, as I said, who is a good friend of mine down in Hoi Hin. And you can meet, and many guys who've watched the videos on the Big Picture El Panorama have met their future wives and or girlfriends on Thai Date VIP. So if you want to have a look or want to know more about it, and I hope you've got better luck than I have had in terms of communication with your future wife or girlfriend, click on the link below to Thai Date VIP, and I guarantee you, well, I can guarantee you, you won't be disappointed. And I hope you weren't disappointed with this video. This is an honest video, as all my videos are. I don't try to, as I said, I only make videos, well, it doesn't always happen, but my best videos are when I'm passionate about something, and I'm absolutely passionate about this. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have done, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section. You share, subscribe, do all those wonderful things, and I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. Thanks for joining me.